Music in this game is dang good. Okay, so I was going to go back for a couple of things. For starters, you know what? Actually, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to loot all that. Go inventory. We're going to check him, because he's only got one dagger. However, we have a masterwork dagger, and then dagger. So now he's got 2 dagger. Perfect. And we'll sell the rest so it stops telling me about it. Okay, show me your wares. Sell those. Right. Sell those. And then I wanted to take a look at her. So she can only wear certain armor. Oh, you know that +1 hide armor that I put away? Actually, could have used it. Well, we'll just get her some hide armor. There's a tower shield. There's also leather armor +1, but there's no point in it. Oh, I sold the +1 hide to the other guy. Oh, that's fine. There we go. He actually looks pretty nice in armor, frankly. Let's see, what else do we have? Yeah, we got the Icy Protector, which is, turns out, not super useful for this group. Oh. Okay. Right, we're gonna talk to Earbeth. I was trying to figure out, it's like, I know there's something. Hello. There's a traitor I'm trying to track down. Who's your informant among the thieflings? Earbeth arches her brows in surprise. Canabras is threatened by a demon horde, and you have enough spare time to help out thieves. Earbeth sighs. I don't like this, but I hope you know what you're doing. I'll tell you everything I know. I did not see my informant's face. He slipped out of a dark alley, handed me the note, and disappeared. Earbeth hesitates, and she tries to remember. He had a cloak with a hood masking his face, but the horns, the long horns, didn't fit under it. There should be a guardian golem in Ancient Trees and Wonders, the shop they tried to rob. The owner gave us the construct's code word, just in case. The golem itself is destroyed, but the head seems to be intact, so you can interrogate the thing and find out what it saw. The code word is Hand of Irori. Master of Masters, Enlightened One and Perfect Human, God of Enlightenment. Huh. The shop's owner must have escaped, but there's a chance he'll get lucky with the golem. Oh, we might as well go back. I know one of these gets me an intelligent weapon. Because a number of people are trying to direct me towards it, but it's like... I always find when people are trying to spoil things in the guise of backseat gaming, it's like, you need to go here to do this, and I'm like, I don't even know where that is. And that's meaningless, because I'm probably going there anyway. It doesn't really bother me too much on this game, as long as it's not like a major bit, but it's always just a little infuriating. Okay, well, random encounter. I haven't exactly invested a whole lot into sneaking, because I want to fight everything that I go by, even though it's not actually worth that much EXP. Hello, they're here already. Ah. Oh boy, she does 18 damage. And flat-footed. Happens. Yeah, I wanted to try giving her a glaive. This is a strategy a build I never looked into, really. But reach with attacks of opportunity are actually really stinky. And something I'd never really thought about. And I love the idea of potentially having Ember with just really long reach, hitting things from effectively behind the front line. Potentially with cleave and a couple other things. Hello, is anyone there? Polished oak shelves. Please get me out of here. Polished oak shelves once showcased magical rings and amulets. Now that all that are left are the handprints of robbers. Okay, they can hear our footprints. Footsteps? I guess let's deal with it. Ah, Finian the talking weapon. Phew, free at last. I thought I'd be flattened like a pancake under that rubble. Much obliged. Damn, I'm not in any pain, but my head is foggy for some reason. What's with all the hubbub in the city? The name's Finian. I'm a Pathfinder. If there's anything I can do to help, I will. You're a Pathfinder? That's right, Finian Dismar, Pathfinder and Crusader. I roam around the Whirlwind wherever my tasks lead me. Scouting mostly, but this last while I've been hanging around in Canabras, waiting until waiting until I'm needed again. I'm bored out of my mind, but at least the shop makes for better lodging than some inn. What I meant was, what are you? What's that supposed to mean? I just told you. You want to know where I hail from, is that it? Well, I'm from around here, actually. We Kelids of the Star Eye clan fled when the Whirlmoon troubles began, but I couldn't stand by while the demons wreaked havoc, so I came back. Or did you mean to ask about my weapon of choice? My best weapon is every weapon. I'm a skilled and capable fellow, if I do say so myself. I can swing a sword and poke with a spear. But what I'm best at is communicating with the spirits. They call folks like me Phantom Blades. Phantom Blades? What's that? It's like a spiritualist, but with a twist. It means that some spirit took a liking to me at some point, and it can turn into whatever weapon I need. Handy, eh? I don't need any whetstones or enchantments. Doesn't take up space either. Although, to be fair, it's not a barrel of laughs. The spirits that bestow this kind of power don't come from happy places, and they're not exactly bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. They usually appear after great battles that leave few survivors. The city is under attack by demons. Wait, what? Last thing I saw was some thieves breaking in here. Then the guards came, and everyone was running around. After that, it's a bit of a blur. Right then, things got intense, and they dropped a cabinet on me. I couldn't even help the owner. I was just lying under the shelves like a dimwit until you came along. If there are demons in Canabras, we must do something about it. The city needs every blade it can get. Hey, do you mind taking me with you? I don't think I can handle this all alone. Besides, the more the merrier. How'd you end up in the shop? I've been here too long I don't remember anymore. Just sitting and waiting for word from the Pathfinders. But it looks like everyone's forgotten about me. The shop owner is an old friend of the Pathfinders, so I've taken up residence here. Alright, I'll take you with me. I swear you won't forget it. I can do all sorts of things. Is there anything your party is missing? A sword, a spear, a bow? Just say the word. Okay, you now have a unique companion, Finian the Talking Weapon. You can access him through a special button in your inventory. Click on it to initiate dialogue with him, or change his form to make him any shape of any weapon, handing him to one of the characters in your party. No limitations to changing the form. And he becomes more powerful as we go along. So I'm actually going to turn him into a dueling sword for the time being, because we don't have one of those. Where the heck is he? Shoot. Where's that tutorial? Oh no. Oh. Those are cool. I was assuming he would show up here, but I have... Oh, here he is. No, that's the purple stone knife. Interesting. Cannot be unequipped. I've got a weird purple stone knife. Let me check. Tutorial. Damn it. Special button in the inventory, so I just have to find it. Ah, Finian. Duh. Okay. Dueling sword. Okay. Eventually I'll probably switch him to a bow. But this way, she's actually got a dueling sword. For a while. +1 cold iron, ghost touch, and finesse wielding. Damn. That is a ridiculously good weapon. Okay, and we got some loot. Was that a demonic heart that was just in here? Cool. Weird. Cool again. Okay, what do we got over here? Some rubble. The formerly well-appointed shop now looks a sorry state. It's been completely ransacked. Lying in a corner of the next to a scorched wall are the soot-covered shards of a clay golem's head. The golem's eyes glow in the gloom. Master, code word. And Irori. Code word correct. The golem's eyes glow brighter, awaiting orders. Where did you come from? Who created you? And that stuff. Tell me about any suspicious people who came to the shop last week. 56 individuals entered the shop. Human feel... Okay. Tieflings. 3. Tiefling middle-aged. Tiefling male young. Tiefling female young. Describe the young. Okay, so this should be... Yeah, this is Woljif. Wait, but it's not. Sounds like me, but it's not possible. Huh. Middle-aged tiefling. Long horns, medium tail, pale blue. That's our trader. I bet your life on it. Kharesme drilled it into our heads that we weren't to go hanging around the shop. Red hair, got a couple of gingers, and plenty more who get it out of a bottle. So much for a special observation. Golems ain't all they're cracked up to be, eh? Maybe Master knows more. And female tiefling. Scar on the nose. Baldric with gold stitching. No tail. I don't know that one. New arrival, most likely. Gold stitching, eh? Wouldn't mind getting to know her a bit better. Okay, where's your master? Oh. Huh. So the golem is currently guarding the master. Ooh, a pipe fox. I don't know what that does, but it sounds fun. And we're going to move the golem. Is this a good idea? Probably not, but we're going to do it anyway. Hello? Oh yeah, he's alive. This is like a very evil thing for me to be doing, but hello, who cares? The elderly gnome, so portly as to be nearly spherical, is curled up in the corner of the basement shaking. Marauders, bandits, scavengers! Please, calm down. No one's going to rob you. The gnome peers at you. Huh, you do look better dressed than the local thieves and ragamuffins. You come here to tell me the nightmare's over? No, it's not. You're here to steal my riches? Get back. The gnome notices Woljif, and his rounded face turns scarlet. You, Woljif! The dirty little sneak thief. You've been sniffing around my shop for years. Finally worked up the courage to rob me, did you? Get out of here. You and your pals have taken everything already, I'm sure. The gnome seems to settle slightly. The name's Philomen Fruliatros. I was the owner of this shop, but I'm not sure I can claim to be the owner of anything now. I hope there's at least something left in it. Oh, come off it. Your shop's fine. It's a bit ransacked, maybe. Nothing a bit of spit and polish can't fix. Where were you the night of the robbery? Do you think I robbed my own shop? I was here in the basement. I was told to make it look like I'd left. The watch was very keen to get their hands on those thieflings. They seem to be multiplying all over Galarian. So, of course, I did everything they said. And I've been stuck in this basement since then. The golem wouldn't move away from the door no matter how much I yelled at it. But then I thought that this is all good. Somebody came by after the guards and caused a ruckus upstairs, bellowing like mad, taking advantage of my absence. Tell me about the tieflings that have visited ancientries and wonders recently. Why should I tell you anything about my customers? You're not from the City Guard or the Eagle Watch. Chief, if he keeps digging in his heels in, say the word. I know how to loosen his tongue. Bluff 16? Yeah, I'm good at that, I guess. No, I'm not. Aw. Well, this is bad. Anyway, how do I know you're telling the truth? Since when is the Eagle Watch in the habit of sending strangers to do their work for them? Intimidate. Alright. Put it away, I'll tell you everything. Tell me about Woljif. Woljif Jeffdo, right? Yes, I've known him a long time, though I'd rather not have known him at all. He's been skulking around my shop for years, treating the place like a free museum. He always wanted to look at the moon of the abyss. I'd chase him out, but he'd slink back in again. If he was with the gang that robbed my shop, I'd bet anything he swiped the moon. How come I'm the prime suspect? Whoever betrayed us all, that's the one who's got the moon. I want to see it return too, you get me? I don't like the idea of other people's grubby bits on it. Tell me about the red-haired tiefling. A red-haired tiefling, I suppose, yes. There was one who came in, spent a long time looking around. He was a person of modest means, I could tell by his clothes, but he asked me to show him an Aasimar-made chainmail. He certainly couldn't afford it. And that's when I suspected that something was off. I checked everything after he left, but nothing was missing. That put my mind at ease. I can't remember what he looked like. Didn't get a good look at his face. All I remember is that he was wrapped in a green cloak like he was freezing. But that's all I have. That's it. With that description, we'll surely sniff him out. Come on, Chief. Back to Sister Charisme we go. To have a good long shifty with all my brothers and put all these clues together. Something tells me our traitor isn't going to wriggle out of this one. Tell me about the tiefling woman. Tiefling woman? Ah, yes, I remember now. A noble lady, unlike the tiefling ruffians who come around here. She purchased magical equipment for the crusade. She promised to come again. If only all tieflings were like that, I'd be laughing all the way to the bank. Thanks. If that isn't enough to help you catch the thieves, I don't know what else to tell you. Now be on your way, and leave me in peace with my wreck of a shop. Oops. Fancy wine. I am a loot goblin. Luckily, this doesn't cost me any morale points. Morality? Alignment points? Can I move the golem back? I guess actually moving the golem back would be bad, because that would trap him again. I was mostly thinking of, like, if the golem's there, he'll be safe. But he might starve? Maybe? I don't know. Okay, well, back to this. That was quick. Alright, let's get to the bottom of this. Now, do we see any long... No, it's none of these. No longhorn ones and no cloaks. Charisme drums her fingers nervously on the handle of her blade. Well, you gonna tell me who the traitor is? The name of the moon abyss that they stole. I don't need anything else. The name and the moon abyss that they stole. Take a good look at the suspects. The tieflings are tense and ready to reach for their weapons. The only redheads are Melrune and Doff. The dark-skinned tieflings are Varnir, Doffy, and Melrune. Doffy, Melrune, and Tavi have straight horns, but Tavi is female. Only Varnir and Melrune. Oh, god damn it. Alright. Oh. Only redheads are Melrune and Doffy. Dark-skinned are Varnir, Doffy, and Melrune. Doffy, Melrune, and Tavi have straight horns. But Tavi is female. Only Varnir and Melrune have green cloaks. So, Doffy and Melrune... So it's gotta be Melrune. Met some thieflings from your gang. One of them got trapped trying to get into an underground passage. And what? We all made a pact, everyone for themselves. We'll meet up at the arranged time and place. They're dumb enough to crawl into some hole in the ground. That's their lookout. I'm not their nanny. Fair enough. Ready to give a name. Well, go on, tell her. Melrune. You'll pay for this. Vodiel and Hepasmira will get you in the end. Grab him. Take him away for questioning. Charisme looks weary, but her earlier tension is clearly lifted. He confessed. Someone connected to the cult of Baphomet ordered him to steal the Moon of the Abyss. And the best idea you could come up with was to drag us into it. He got the scroll to take out the golem, but he betrayed us to Erebeth so you could swipe the amulet in the chaos. He thought we'd get nicked and he'd slink off to meet with his customer. You've got the Moon of the Abyss. Let me look at it one more time. My whole life I've dreamed of holding it in my hands. Only for a second. He said when he got to the window display, the moon was gone. He's lying, of course. He had time to hand the moon off to the person who ordered it. Bloody cultists. I don't really give a toss. I'm just glad we got to the bottom of this. What are you going to do now? Clear out of this place. The sooner the better. The city's dying. I don't want to die with it. The city would have already died if not for the people who stood up to defend it with weapons in their hands. So defend it. I'm not stopping you. It's your city. But we've always been outsiders here. Why should we fight for you now? What are you going to do with the traitor? He'll be sent to his distant relatives on the farm to think about what he did. Any more questions? I've never been on a farm. I imagine it's really pretty. Fields, apple trees, and chickens. Charisme gives Ember a sideways glance. Yeah, sure. Chickens. Okay, well, they're leaving. Sister. Woljif nervously bites his lip. His cheeks are flushed and his tail is swishing through the air. You forgot something. What now? You should be happy to be alive. An apology. You promised to apologize to me, loudly in front of everyone. We're alone now, but I still want to hear it. Well, that. Kresme shrugs indifferently. So, sorry, I suppose, for being wrong about you this time. I don't think that just because you didn't act like a jerk this one time, it cancels out the rest of your record. I know all about you. Till next time, Woljif. That's the most pathetic apology I've ever heard. Alright, fine. I'm sorry, Woljif. Let's part on good terms. I'm gonna push my luck. And now apologize to me as well. You falsely accused my ally, and you accused me too. Ooh. A flurry of emotions passes across Kresme's face. When she finally opens her mouth, her words trickle out slowly, like each one is a struggle. And I'm sorry to you too. And to make it up to you, here. She pulls a key from her pocket and tosses it to you. And now I'm leaving. Hell yeah. Alright, I need more in diplomacy. I gotta get convincing. Woljif watches her go, his tail relaxing. You made some impression on her. I've never seen Sister Kresme back down before. Listen, Chief, when you got a spare minute, come see me. I've got something I want to discuss with you, but for now, let's get out of here. I don't like sitting below ground when the building above is ready to crash down on our heads. But first, we must loot the place. They have fish and booze. Booze, which I can probably sell. Kukri, which I don't care about. Ooh. Use the apprentice lockpick, just because. Unless this is the one that we had the key for. But I also don't care, one way or another. Okay, we got a ring called Sharp Strike. Whenever aware of this ring, shoots an enemy engaged in melee combat and hits enemy. Why, yeah, let's put that on him. Not actually that good, but I like it. Especially if I can get a whole bunch of arrows. I wonder if that ability can stack. Because if so, I am going to be happy camper indeed. Whee! Yeah, he's still got the bewildering injury. I'm assuming it's a bug. I mean, I know these games are bugs. Or fairly riddled. It's one of those that, they've got a bit of a reputation for it, and a lot of people are kind of mad about that potential. Oh, that sword looks cool. I can't wait to turn it into a bow. We need a dueling sword at the moment. We don't need a bow as much. More random encounters. Come on, give me something tougher. Hello. Woljif, go. These two. You two, run. All Torgar had to do was look at it and it died. Hell yeah, Torgar. You champion. Oh, right. She's got strength damage. We should probably get rid of that too. Though she doesn't need strength as much. Okay. Be restored by resting or with the help of... Sure. I'll grab it as we go along. And we might actually be able to finish the prologue here. Either that or there's like a second section to it. More stuff to make things with. Don't hoard expendable items like potions, wands, and scrolls. They can help you hugely in battle, and you can always buy more. I feel judged. Okay. The great library of Canabras has been ravaged and wrecked in the most barbaric way. It seems that someone took perverse pleasure in smashing lamps and furniture and tearing pages out of books. Caleb. And Crusaders. I'm sorry. What? A stocky knight with a head of a messy black hair stands before you. His armor is spattered with blood. He greets you with a deep booming voice. The hefty Crusader smiles merrily, paying no heed to the blood-curdling shrieks from the pyre, and the acrid smell of burning flesh. They burn so well, don't they? Cursed traitors are those minions. These vermin infiltrated the Crusader forces and aided the demons from inside the city, but I caught them. I'm Captain Caleb Sazamal, and these men are my subordinates. A strange feeling rises up within you. It's pure instinct. You don't know what you're about to do, but you're certain that it's right. Take a closer look at the ruthless Crusader. He's talking too loudly, all the while casting sidelong looks at you. You've seen similar behavioral quirks before in liars. Ah, yeah, they're Baphomet people. Examine the Crusaders' armor and the symbols on it. You notice the emblems on the armor of the two silent Crusaders belong to the Order of the Flaming Lance, but Caleb's armor bears the sigil of the Order of the Sunrise Sword. Strange, then, that he introduced himself as their captain. Something's not right here. I mean, I could try that. What happened to the library? Demons showed up and carried everything off. I wasn't here to see it myself. I was fighting in the square, but these filthy traitors told me everything. My fists made them quite chatty. So what, you tortured them? Do you think those methods are worthy of a crusader? Under ordinary circumstances, no, but look around. The city is burning. Now's not the time for squeamishness. Who are you punishing? The warrior howls like a wild animal. Look around you! The city is in burning ruins. So many innocent lives lost, all because of abominations like these here. Cultists, heretics, and spies slipping into our ranks, carrying out the orders of their brutal masters and preparing a heinous death for us all. They want to give us over to demons just like Arilu did with Sarkoris. They deserve to feel the flames licking at their legs. You come up with nasty words just to use against people. You call them heretics, cultists, spies, so you don't have to call them people. Good people just like you. You'd feel bad for doing this to people, but not to heretics. Without those words, you wouldn't be able to burn them. I'm gonna go for this. I don't get to go chaotic often, but I'm gonna give it a shot today. Requires trickster, mythic path, given to strange instinct. Put out those flames, I order you in the name of Baphomet. The words fly out of your mouth before you can even think them. Some gut instinct told you this is precisely what needs to be said in this moment. When the word hits their target, the Crusaders jump in surprise and look at each other in terror. Woljif stares menacingly at Caleb. Did you know, mortal? We're everywhere. Sir, we didn't know you were one of us. You heard him. Put the flames out. Cuffing his lackeys around the head, Caleb herds them straight towards the fire. All three of them start trying to fight the flames, showing no concern for their own safety. And I love this music. An inexplicable feeling of righteousness flows through you. You enjoy seeing the look of oafish terror on the faces of the Crusader and his lackeys when you rebuke them for their fecklessness. Quickly, you worms. If you keep dawdling, I'll throw you into the furnace of the Grey Garrison. Caleb grunts in wordless terror and desperately fights the flames. Every so often, he sends murderous looks at his associates, who he has clearly already condemned to death. You blithering idiots, you cack-handed dimwits, you empty suits of armor. You watch in satisfaction as Caleb and his lackeys rush to put out the alchemist's fire. Their armor becomes covered in soot and welts rise on their skin from the flames. Succumbing to another strange oratorical impulse, you chivvy up to them with barked orders and florid invective. Whoever doesn't pull his weight is a dead man. I'll take the other two into Baphomet's forces. Ah, that guy in the center is still alive. With a wary look in your direction, Caleb abandons his own attempts to quell the flames and turns his focus on thumping and kicking his subordinates to hurry them along. The method proves surprisingly effective, and the flames begin to dwindle. Listen to your gut. Stop wasting valuable fuel. If you like burning books, go rig Grey Garrison Library. Our enemies might try to sneak in there. Step to it. I love it. Stop wasting valuable fuel. If you like burning books, go rig the Grey Garrison Library. Our enemies might try to sneak in there. Step to it. There's plenty more where that came from, sir. I'll do everything you've ordered. And just as soon as those Crusaders arrive, they'll be dead meat. I'll go make sure that we get make it another 2 barrels of alchemist fire from the Grey Garrison storeroom. Things are going to burn right up in there. Oh, okay, that was worth it. Anyway, I'm assuming this is the storyteller. Yep. A blind elf stands before you. He looks extremely strange. His face wears its years heavily, which is unusual for members of his race. Thinning gray hair, a ragged beard, sightless milky eyes, pale papery skin covered in age spots, a spine curved by the passage of time. This is not how elves typically age. The youth that graces the faces of elves, even on their deathbed, has totally abandoned this decrepit specimen. It's an elf with a beard. I guess the worst can be found amongst the best. A bearded elf, how intriguing. If you please, I would like to pluck out a hair of that phenomenon manifesting on your chin. In the interest of science, of course. The old elf holds out his hand in your direction in the perennial gesture of the blind, greeting you with an unexpectedly strong and calm voice. Hello, I am the storyteller. I wish to thank my rescuers. That is you, if I'm not mistaken. Storyteller? Ha! That's the first I've ever heard of a venerable old-timer like that having a street name. Sometimes a person can lose their name, but Mama and Papa are gone, friends are gone, and there's nobody to ask what it was. So instead of their name, a person can pick up any word that is good. Everybody has to have a name, or do they? I don't know. How come you didn't burn in the fire? To tell the truth, I myself do not know. I felt the heat. It was so strong. I waited for the pain, the burning, but I was unscathed. The smoke didn't nearly finish me off. Maybe some form of magical protection against fire, but I don't know by what means I may have acquired it. Just another oddity from my collection of the inexplicable. Gloom steals across the storyteller's pensive face. Who are you? The old elf frowns. I prefer people to call me the storyteller. It very accurately describes the sphere of my occupations and interests. In most of the places I have been, I am known by that name. When I was little, my mother and father used to tell me stories, but I have no one to tell my stories now. Sometimes Grandma does in my dreams, but I always forget them in the morning. Can you tell me a story? The corners of the blind elf's mouth slowly creep upward. For you, I may have a story to tell, but perhaps it is you who has a story for me. I want to talk to you about something. The old elf responds with dignity and courtesy, but firmly. In thanks for my rescue, I of course will render you a service in turn, whatever it may be. However, in the moment, I wish to be somewhere safer than the present surroundings. My recent adventures have fatigued me greatly. I'd be grateful if you could help me to a safe shelter of some kind. The stubborn set of the elf's mouth tells you that he won't change his mind. Typical. You do someone a good turn, and instead of saying thank you, they just ask for more help. Go easy on the old elf. He's had a rough go of it. Yeah, because we've had it so easy. We can't not help him. If it was up to me, Grandfather Elf, I'd throw you over my shoulder and carry you out of here. This is no place for old folks. I'll help you later. In that case, I will remain here for now. Wandering the city while it's under attack by demons would be inadvisable for a blind person. Don't forget to take me with you when you're going to a safe place. I just want to check out the rest of this. Yeah, there's a couple of things to grab here, including full plate. And a secret door. Okay, I'm going to save before this one. This is a statue of a mage who founded the Blackwing Library. He's cut the wing of a demon off, a demon known as a rock, and it hung it above the entrance. Huh. We did in fact succeed. Boy, we rolled well there. Okay, quarterstaff of coercion, and some other goodies. This library is loaded. The bookcase is full of text describing demons and methods of fighting them. Regrettably, all this knowledge was not enough to save Canabras from the spawn of the Abyss. Some monstrously large demonic blade fell on the library, splitting the runes in two and leaving an enormous black scar. It's possible that Discari himself is the one to destroy this building with his terrifying scythe, Rift Carver. Unfortunately, I do not think there's a way that I can currently cross. It looks like there might be a bit of a spot over there, but I doubt it. Nope. Big nope. Aha. What's this? Barrel of flammable alchemical substance. Okay. Taking you to Defender's Heart. Please accept my sincere thanks once again. And if I may, please don't rush. I will struggle to keep up with your young legs. Yeah, we're just going back. There's nothing else for me to do in the city. I've done everything. I kind of wish there was some more objectives to just kind of randomly do if I wanted to, but I guess that would be boring. I should just continue on with the game. We're still kind of in the prologue, sort of. I'm not really. We're in chapter 1, which is kind of its own thing. Okay, so where the heck is he? Storyteller. He's hanging out with Dayron. That's a mistake. Why are you here? Dayron, get out of here. The blind elf looks better than he did in your last encounter. His clothes are clean and his pale face has some color. The elf turns to you and listens closely. Is that you, my savior? I recognize your footsteps. Determined footsteps, befitting a determined person. Allow me to thank you again for saving me. Please accept this humble gift as a token of my appreciation. The elf hands you a small black ring with 2 scarlet runes on it. Storyteller's ring. Here Beth has explained why you were looking for me. I warned the authorities of Canabras that the local wardstone had been desecrated. They waved off my warning and paid for their inaction. I've examined many wardstones, but only in the one guarding Canabras did I sense a flaw. A spot of corruption inside, a vulnerability the demons will surely use. They're able to spread the blight inside the wardstone, corrupt it, and make it their weapon. It frightens me to think what it will be capable of. The wardstone must be destroyed. Who are you, and why did they let you examine the wardstone? Elf smiles faintly. I am the storyteller, just an old elf, and a bit more. I'm old even for an elf. I've seen many things and have been to many places. Not so long ago, I witnessed the making of a young kingdom in the Stolen Lands, led by a remarkable and promising individual. My advice on the complicated matter of conquering those lands proved useful to that leader. I really should play Kingmaker at some point. Oh well. This is not uncommon for me. Seek my advice or services, and I don't refuse. That's how I acquired my reputation as an old vagrant who's never hurt anyone, stayed out of other squabbles, but sometimes gave good advice. I had a few friends in Neurosian who vouched for my integrity, which is why my humble request to be allowed to see the wardstones was granted. I visited all of them, but only found cause for alarm in Canabras. You wield some special magical power, some instinct. The storyteller chuckles. Yes, to a certain extent, but it is more of a gift. I can see the past, stories that have happened. I touch an object, and shreds of its owner's memories are revealed to my mind. There are emotions, passions, and tragedies. I see visions like I am them, and their stories open to me. This is my power. I've been roaming the world gathering such stories for many thousands of years. One day, I will gather them all. What blight is concealed in the wardstone? I'm afraid I don't have the answer to your question. To understand the nature of this blight, we need to understand how the wardstone was created, and it is hidden from me. I can only guess. You heard of the Red Morning Massacre, a dreadful morning remembered with fear by even those who were not yet born at the time. A demoness called Minago invaded the city with a crowd of her followers and started to do what demons do best, to kill and desecrate. They say they covered the wardstone with pieces of dead bodies, splashed it with blood from top to bottom. Could such an abomination darken the radiance of the gift of Iomade herself? The locals think that this is impossible, but who knows? It was not the last attack. Many demon leaders brought their unholy forces here. Even the terrifying Baylor, Koramzadeh, one of Deskari's most powerful generals. Let's see. But he's the World Wound strategist. He's a shrewd general. Cool. Their attacks were rebuffed, but they still reached their target. I think this is when the seed of corruption was planted in the stone. It wouldn't have grown on its own, but Deskari himself has now come to take advantage of this weakness. To open the abscess that has been festering for years, unnoticed by the people of Canabras. And when the demon lord struck the blow, the weakened stone gave in. Now it's in demon hands, and nothing is stopping them from spreading the blight throughout the entire stone, and from it to the other stones along the whole perimeter of the world wound. Why did you travel to the wardstones? I tried to see their stories. The visions I had when I touched the wardstones were unclear. I saw hundreds, maybe thousands of different stories at the same time. They followed each other like flashes of lightning. It was impossible to separate them. I couldn't understand where one of them ended and the next began. I've heard you, storyteller. In that case, You must make every possible effort to destroy the corruption. Unfortunately, I do not know where to get an instrument powerful enough to banish it from the Wardstone. As far as I know, there's nothing like it in Canabras, but the demons might have something. I heard the dying roar of Terendelev, the silver dragon, the protector of the city. At the same time, I felt a wave of unfamiliar power sweep through me from head to toe. I would advise you to go to where Terendelev perished and search there for something. I'm sorry I can't be more specific, but intuition and a strange sense of rightness tell me to point you there. I found it. Present the purple stone knife. I found it in the square where Terendelev perished. What do you make of it? The storyteller reaches out and says softly, even from here, I can feel strange energies emanating from this object. If you don't mind, I will examine it, using my method. I will try to see the past of its owner, their emotions, and shreds of their memories. Maybe it will help us better understand what we're dealing with. He touches the knife, his fingers clamping around the hilt with a hungry, masterful grip. His face contorts into an evil grimace, his voice disgustingly raspy. Hunger. My many legs bring me into the lair. To my mother's feasting hall, her swollen body overfilled with food is so huge that I have to look at it with all of my eyes at once. On top is her scrawny little head, with a long beak that's always yearning for more food. You feel feverish in your chest, where the mysterious wound is concealed feels hot. Your mind is flooded with waves of visions that repeat the words of the old elf. Mother greets me with a placid screech, stupid greedy wretch, whose only achievement is my birth, a creeping, wingless creature. It is your fault I have no wings, a symbol of greatness, a birthright I should have received from my mighty father. Mother points me to a crowd of whimpering subjects, suggesting I fortify myself with their pathetic flesh. Not today. I summon my spawn and they fly to me, enveloping me in a teeming cloud. Like dark buzzing wings, they unfold behind my back and lift me up. Mother's always been stronger, but she did not expect this. I dive in on her and rip her limp, bloated body with my claws. Ichor splatters, the bone spurs on my heels sink into her flesh. I clench her pitiful tiny head and tear it off with the shreds of meat. Victory, I am the strongest. I am the son of my winged father. The elf grimaces with distaste. His voice becomes normal again. Appalling. Stories like that are the most difficult ones to keep with me. Did the knife belong to a demon? The storyteller opens his mouth to answer, but a sudden spasm crosses his face. A new vision, a much stronger one, engulfs the old elf. The malevolent undertones vanish from his voice, and it grows more determined and tired. Even looking at the Wardstone is difficult, despite the corruption nesting in it. It still has an aura of strength. Your fingers clench the stone hilt so tight it hurts. A little spot on the flawless surface of the Wardstone draws your attention. It looks like a butterfly, corruption on the guise of something utterly harmless, but it will grow. You swing and stab the butterfly with the knife as hard as you can. Your fingers cramp painfully. A howl invades your ears. White light everywhere. The stone knife falls from the old elf's hands. Out of breath, he drops to his knees. He is trembling. The terror on his face so unlike his usual dignified manner. What was that? That was not the past. That was something that is yet to happen. Or rather might happen. One of the roads to the future. In one of the possible futures, this item will help you cleanse the Wardstone, or to destroy it. You feel a longing to take the stone chisel and plunge it into your chest, right into the wound that's opened up in it. It's hard to resist this feeling, but at the last moment your self-preservation instinct takes over. You manage to keep control of your own hands. The old man stands up. He looks completely stunned. Never before has anything like this happened to me, but how? I'm not an oracle or a prophet. Is this another riddle from the past that has caught up with me? I must find out. Seeing stories that have happened is one thing, but seeing stories that are yet to happen. I don't know why this is happening now. But there is one thing I'm sure of. This is not a coincidence. This is a sign of coming changes. Great changes. I shared your vision, and this knife tempted me. Did you see what I saw? This has never happened before. Could it be the magic of the object that you brought me? I sense dark energies that can cloud and charm the mind. Be careful with the item. It may have tried to influence you, but you managed to overcome its power and subdue it. Perhaps something else happened to us. Something we yet don't understand. Can you see the future? I don't know. Obviously I can, but nothing like this has ever happened to me before. The future never opened its secrets to me before I met you. Gods, who are you and why have our paths crossed? I feel this is not a coincidence. Something momentous is happening. Destiny is pushing us towards something, but what? Questions without answers. I swear, this morning I couldn't have imagined what awaited me. Maybe it's the knife that gives you the power of divination. The knife is a powerful artifact, but I feel that its power is of a different nature. No, I felt the same as I do when I tell the past. This is my gift, but manifested in a completely abnormal way. Is what you saw destined to happen? No, the future is not set. It used to be a long time ago when the god Eroden guarded Golarion, but now prophecies do not come true. Or they do, but not the way they're supposed to. I only saw one version of the future. One of the paths leading to it, but the choice has not yet been made, and our destinies are not set in stone. Who were you in your vision? I do not know. Someone strong and desperate enough to resort to extreme measures. I felt whatever I was doing had to be done. Your powers are amazing. A few minutes ago I would have agreed with you, but the thing that has just happened, it disturbs me. My gift has never manifested like this. Something has changed, and the changes frighten me. Please examine the items I'm carrying. Perhaps some of them could tell a story. Oh yeah, I remember this guy now. Okay. So, Radiance. Used to belong to an incredibly bright and daring soul. Let's see. Skill that hasn't lost its shine. Proud Tarendalev, protector of Canabras. You devoted your life to serving people. Your death is a great loss, but perhaps maybe I'll be able to find something about you that is unknown to your many admirers. Finian. What a peculiar weapon. I sense intelligence in it, but it seems dented. Grandpa Elf, watch where you're poking your fingers. It tickles. Fragment of the gold buckle, an old thing created long ago by a divine will, but the power that gave birth to it is long lost in the darkness. However, the relic still lives on, though it has changed. I wonder what secret it is hiding. Would you like to know? Bring me 5 vials of magic essence, and I'll revive this object, and with it its story. Okay. Well, I don't have enough. What about Finian? Let's see. Storyteller carefully takes Finian from your hands. Hello, Finian. Closes his eyes and takes a deep breath. His face contorts into a painful grimace. I'm coming to again. How long have I been here? They kept me in a cage for 3 days. I know this because 3 times the light under the door disappeared for a long time. And they chained me to the table, and the Bladesmith, everyone calls him the Bladesmith. He placed a device with a jar over me. It feels like I'm being fried. At first I tried to break free, then I got tired, and then I screamed, but now I've lost my voice. But the pain is burning right through me. The storyteller stops. His voice changes, becomes more frightened. I think I lost consciousness again, but then I woke up and the pain is gone. I wasn't tied to the table anymore. I was standing near it, and someone else lying on the table, a burned corpse covered with black crust. The master took out a handsaw and was sawing off his head in a very focused way. I should have run back then, but I couldn't for some reason. This burned corpse had a symbol on his belt, just like I do, an eye and a star. My favorite belt, a good one. Where would a stranger get one? It must have been someone from my clan, some distant family member. The storyteller stops. When he speaks again, you hear only a muffled whisper. Those Crusaders, I was glad when I saw them. I thought they'd come to help, but how? How is it that I killed them all? Someone told me to, and I obeyed. I don't understand. I understand nothing now. I need to catch my breath. I need all this to stop, even just for a moment. I have to understand what's happening to me. I just need to rest. The storyteller shakes his head, slowly coming to his senses. That is Finian's past, but what awaits him in his future? The dead have no future, but... The storyteller smiles. I see an endless ocean on a good day and a boat flying over the waves. I'm so excited, but I don't know what this vision is. Is a soul existing here and now, or a soul reborn? Thank you. Okay. Yeah, so they effectively sacrificed this guy and turned him into a weapon. Okay. I'm just gonna skip some of this dialogue. There's a lot. Wait. Huh, went into the demon's lair. So, Rendelev went into a demon's lair. Interesting. Yeah, her unit was ambushed by demons once. She is infected with foulness. So, interesting. I'm gonna just kind of skip past a lot of this. There's a lot of lore, which is cool. But it's starting to, like, wreck me a bit. And also, it's just kind of long. Okay, and we've already asked about the stone knife. And then we need the rest of the stuff. Okay, what else is there? Can I help you? Oh, I appreciate your offer. I have reason to believe that somewhere in Canabras there's a manuscript authored by an elf from Kionin who witnessed Earthfall. Earthfall? Ah, shower of meteorites impacted on Galarion. Destroyed Thalassian and Aslant. Okay. Storyteller's voice suddenly breaks and he stops for a moment. For personal reasons, I'd like to examine it, but no matter how hard I try, I've failed to find it, even in the Blackwing Library. I only found mention of the manuscript exists. It's held somewhere in the city. Okay. I assume it's in the Grey Garrison. They wouldn't let me into the archive when I visited. All those Crusaders were nervous about the strange blind elf interested in their secrets. It's understandable. The Crusade naturally made them a little paranoid, but now the Grey Garrison has fallen into enemy hands. I'd be grateful if I could see the manuscript. Okay, questions about the library. What were you doing there? Okay. I'm just gonna go. There's so much.